I'm going to talk a little bit about the importance of finding a teacher. When one begins a meditation practice, one really doesn't need a teacher at that point, because what one has to do first is to maintain a practice for some time and prepare oneself for meeting a teacher. The idea of all of this is to consider oneself as an offering to one's teacher, like you wouldn't pour milk into a dirty glass. So when we go to visit or when we seek out a teacher, we want to do our homework first so that we're prepared. And it's just a way of respecting the teacher. So basically that means getting rid of all our bad habits. And by that I mean destructive habits that we know are destructive, that are not in our best interests. And distracting desires and frivolous activities. So all of this we can do without a teacher's help. And it's a way of respecting the teacher when we finally go to seek out a teacher. And believe me, teachers know who's done their homework and who hasn't. And they don't really pay much attention to a student that hasn't done his homework. So the first important thing is there's so much available of good instructions in books and digital media now that there's no excuse for not knowing how to actually begin a practice, practicing a disciplined practice, same time each day, same amount of time, and cleaning up one's lifestyle. Then, when we feel secure in that, and what I mean by feeling secure in that is that we turn a point in that discipline where it's no longer discipline. We actually are looking forward to our meditation practice. We're looking forward to our study periods. We're looking forward to our just all of our what we call spiritual activities. We actually look forward to them. It's not like, oh, I got to meditate now. I've scheduled this in, so I have to do it. It's not like that at all. It's like you can't wait to get off work to go home and meditate. You're really, really looking forward to it. Like meeting a friend we haven't seen for a while for coffee. And that's really kind of what it is like. Meditation is like that because it's new every time, and it's like seeing an old friend that you haven't seen for a while. And you got a lot of catching up to do. Meditation, one of the wonders I've always found in meditation is it can change every single day in a different way, and it's always new. It always renews itself. It's astounding, the versatility of the mind to manifest itself in completely different ways every time one meditates, in infinite different amount of ways. So once we have really done all of that work and we really start liking meditation, it's probably a good time to find a teacher. And the reason is that a teacher that's really has recognized the nature of mind, he has recognized something you haven't. That is very clear. And it's very clear when you meet someone that has actually done that. If they can walk the walk, that's very, very obvious. And it's more obvious when you've done your work too. Naive students fall for all sorts of charlatan teachers. And there's many out there. And if you haven't done your homework yourself, it's very easy to fall for a teacher that's really not qualified. You know, there's always some obvious signs that anybody could recognize, even an inept person, such as asking for lots of money, and a teacher that has an extravagant lifestyle, and charging for teachings and stuff. That's kind of obvious things, but even there's some teachers that don't do this, but they're still not qualified. So you have to qualify yourself to find a qualified teacher and recognize it. And then when you've done that and you go to see a good teacher, you're really respecting him because you've cleaned up your act before going to him. And the teacher will really pour a lot more into you when he's seen that. And the advantages of what this is all about, of finding a teacher, is it makes you realize your potential, that you can do whatever your teacher has done. There's a wonderful story that comes to mind. I love it. And it's a true story. It happened in not ancient times, but in modern times. I think Yogananda tells it. But it happened that this young yogi that had done a lot of work on his own went to see his master. And then he spent 25 years serving that master. And then he writes in his memoirs that sometimes he wakes up and it starts out his day and he forgets who came to who, whether the master came to him or he went to the master. He completely lost his identity with the master. So that's kind of the way it is. And when you meet a great teacher, one of the things that the qualities a great teacher has is inspiring you that you can do it. That was the most amazing thing for me when I met Master Hsuan Hua. I've been meditating a lot for 5 years, about 8 hours a day, and I had met several great teachers, real authentic teachers, but I hadn't met my teacher yet. And I had a wish to be a great yogi, and I couldn't shake that. And I never thought about anything else. And to me, it was just a self-image, you know, to be a yogi. I never thought about what it meant. And then when I met Master Hsuan Hua, I found out my viewpoint was completely wrong because I wasn't looking at what it meant to be a great yogi. Free of all egoism, free of all desire to be a yogi, free of desire, free of obstacles. My actual desire to be a yogi was an obstacle, a big one, and it was preventing me from becoming one. When I met my teacher, I saw that he, in a way, was very ordinary and just completely extraordinary in his, you know, something about him was, he had something that I never had felt. I never experienced it in myself. And yet I knew it was within me. And when I met him, as soon as I met him, I didn't have to be around him at all very long. I knew it immediately that I could realize that seed of enlightenment within myself. And it had nothing to be about being a yogi or any ideal like that. It had to be the substance of a yogi, you know, inside yogi. And when you meet a teacher, whoever your teacher may be, you will know it immediately that that's your teacher. And that because you will feel some awakening inside you that inspires you and makes you believe in yourself. It's quite extraordinary because as much as we love our teacher and have faith in our teacher, do prayers to our teacher, one of the great things is a great teacher makes you believe in yourself, you know, that you can accomplish your aims. And also he makes you realize you have to do it. He cannot do it for you. As the old saying goes, you know, no one saves us but ourselves, no one can and no one may, the Buddhas merely show the way. And there's so much truth in that. But when you're with a teacher that has realized the way, he makes you believe in yourself. He really does. And have faith in yourself, and for all the right reasons. And it gets all the egoism out of Dharma practice, and you start really getting serious into it. It's not like something that you do, like it was for me, sort of wishing to be a yogi and living like a yogi and acting like a yogi, but never thinking about, well, what's inside of a yogi? What makes him a yogi? I was just scratching the surface, you know. So that's the beauty of meeting a teacher, and that's what we should be focusing on when we seek out a teacher.